What happens when the one thing you cherish most is taken away? For Emma Carter, a quiet teenager, it was more than just a broken necklace, it was a breaking point. But sometimes, from the deepest pain, the strongest courage is born. This is the story of how one girl's fight became a legacy of hope and resilience. Emma Carter walked down the crowded hallways of Eastfield High, the weight of her mother's necklace resting gently against her chest. The small silver pendant, a delicate tree of life, had been her mother's favorite. Since her passing 2 years ago, Emma had never taken it off. It was her talisman, a reminder of love, strength, and the courage she sometimes doubted she possessed. But today, the hallways felt colder, darker somehow. Whispers followed her like shadows, sharp eyes glinting with cruelty. Chloe Bennett and her clique, the rulers of the school, blocked Emma's path near her locker. They wore their smirks like armor, confident in their reign of intimidation. "Hey, necklace girl," Chloe said, stepping forward, her voice dripping with mock sweetness. "That thing's looking a little old-fashioned, don't you think?" Emma's heart clenched, but she held her ground. "It's special to me," as she said quietly. One of Chloe's friends, a tall boy named Ryan, snatched at the pendant. Emma gasped and tried to pull back, but Chloe grabbed her wrist tightly, yanking the necklace from her neck. Time seemed to slow as the silver pendant hit the ground and shattered, the chain breaking with a sharp snap. "No!" Emma whispered, the shock cutting deeper than any physical pain. Chloe laughed, a cold, triumphant sound. "Maybe now you'll stop pretending you're special." Emma's eyes filled with tears, but beneath the hurt a fire ignited. For years, she had kept her Taekwondo skills a secret, fearing the attention, the judgment. But now, with her symbol of her mother's love destroyed, something inside her snapped. She wouldn't be the quiet, broken girl anymore. Her voice steady but fierce, Emma said, "You don't know what I'm capable of." Chloe's smirk faltered, replaced by a flicker of uncertainty. Before anyone could react, Emma moved with the fluid grace of years of training. Her stance firm, her fists precise, she blocked Ryan's grab and pushed him back, her movements controlled but undeniably powerful. The crowd around them gasped, whispers turning into stunned silence. Chloe's expression hardened. "This isn't over," she hissed, backing away. Emma's breath came in steady bursts, her heart pounding, but for the first time in a long time, she felt something stronger than fear. Strength. Defiance. A promise to herself that she would never be broken again, not by anyone, not even by the loss she carried in her heart. After the confrontation in the hallway, Emma felt a strange mixture of adrenaline and calm settling over her. The shattered necklace lay heavy in her mind, but her spirit was undeniably lighter. For the first time, she had stood up to Chloe and her clique, not just with words, but with action. Still, Emma knew this was only the beginning. Back home in her small, cozy room filled with photos of her mother and trophies from Taekwondo competitions long past, Emma sat on her bed and carefully picked up the broken chain from her desk. She traced the delicate silver links with trembling fingers, her heart aching. Then, as if by instinct, she reached into a small wooden box her mother had given her years ago. Inside, wrapped in soft velvet, lay the restored pendant, polished and gleaming. Emma's eyes welled up again as she lifted the necklace and found a folded letter tucked underneath it. Her hands shook as she unfolded the worn paper, the familiar handwriting bringing tears to her eyes before she even read a word. "My dearest Emma," the letter began, "this necklace is a symbol, but never forget that your true strength is not in silver or stone, but in the fire that burns within your heart. Life will challenge you, and sometimes break things that feel precious, but you are never broken unless you believe you are. Stand tall, fight with honor, and always remember that I am with you in every step." The words resonated deep inside Emma's soul. She closed the letter, clutching it to her chest, feeling an overwhelming surge of love and determination. Her mother's voice was with her, guiding her. This was not just about the necklace, it was about who she was, and who she would become. The next days were filled with quiet preparation. Emma returned to the dojo where she had trained since she was a child. The familiar scent of wood and sweat, the sharp sound of fists striking pads, the firm but encouraging voice of Master Kim, it all welcomed her like a long-lost home. She threw herself into her training with renewed vigor, pushing past exhaustion, pain, and doubt. Each kick, each punch, each disciplined breath became a testament to her resilience. She wasn't fighting just to defend herself anymore, she was fighting to reclaim her life, her dignity, and to honor the memory of the woman who had taught her to be brave. At school, Emma noticed a subtle change. The whispers still existed, but some students looked at her differently, some with curiosity, others with respect. A few even approached quietly, offering a nod or a word of encouragement. Emma realized her courage was contagious. One afternoon, walking past the gym, she caught Chloe's gaze. There was a flicker of something new in those cold eyes, hesitation, maybe even fear. Emma didn't smile or gloat. Instead, she lifted her chin and kept walking, the restored necklace resting warmly against her skin. Her journey was far from over, but Emma knew this. True strength was rising, fierce and steady, within her. And she was ready to face whatever came next. The morning sun spilled gently through the windows of Eastfield High, casting warm light on a school that was slowly beginning to change. Emma Carter moved through the halls with a calm confidence that hadn't been there before, a quiet strength born of battles fought both inside and out. Since her return to the dojo and the letter from her mother, Emma's life had transformed. The restored necklace lay always against her heart, no longer just a symbol of loss but a beacon of resilience and hope. She had become more than the girl who was bullied, she was a leader and inspiration. Emma organized a self-defense workshop at the school gym, inviting students from all grades. The turnout surprised everyone. The same kids who had once turned their backs to her now listened intently, some even stepping forward to learn. Among them were students who had quietly endured bullying themselves, seeing in Emma a reflection of their own struggle and the courage to break free. Her Taekwondo moves were fluid and powerful, but what captivated the room most was Emma's voice, steady, compassionate, and filled with determination. Strength isn't about hurting others, she told them. It's about protecting yourself and standing up for what's right. It's about believing in yourself when no one else does. That's what my mom taught me, and that's what I want to share with you. Outside the gym, Chloe Bennett watched from a distance, her expression unreadable. Emma had changed something fundamental, not just in herself but in the community. Chloe's own clique had started to fracture as some members reconsidered their actions, their cruelty losing power in the face of Emma's courage. Emma's parents, who had supported her quietly all along, felt a swell of pride. Her father, who had been hesitant about the martial arts at first, now attended every practice and event, cheering her on. Her mother's memory, once a source of sorrow, had become a guiding light that touched everyone around her daughter. At a school assembly weeks later, Emma was invited to speak about bullying and resilience. Standing on the stage, the necklace shining subtly beneath her shirt, she shared her story openly, her fears, her pain, her fight, and the lessons she had learned. Tears glistened in the eyes of many students and teachers. Some whispered thank you, others nodded, feeling seen and understood. Emma knew the journey wasn't over, there would always be challenges ahead. But she felt ready, grounded in the legacy of courage her mother had passed on, and in the community she was helping to build. As she walked off the stage, surrounded by friends new and old, Emma touched the necklace one last time and whispered, "This is for you, Mom. I'm never giving up." The necklace, restored but forever marked by its past, was no longer just a piece of jewelry. It was the emblem of a young woman who had faced darkness, risen stronger, and inspired a legacy of courage that would ripple far beyond Eastfield High. Emma's journey shows us that true strength comes not from what we hold in our hands, but from the fire within our hearts. Her courage didn't just change her life, it sparked a movement, inspiring a whole community to stand up against injustice. Remember, no matter the battles you face, your story can inspire others too. If you believe in the power of courage and the strength of the human spirit, make sure to subscribe and join us for more inspiring stories like Emma's. Don't miss out, hit the subscribe button now and become part of a community that lifts each other up.